And this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video number 29. I want to talk a little bit about the namespace qualifier that solves a lot of problems for you if you're programming, especially in OOP, but you also could use it for your regular functional programming, which I call that functional programming. It's like the regular way of doing things. So they allow for better organization by grouping classes that work together to perform a task. They allow the same name to be used for more than one classes. A namespace can contain valid PHP code. Namespace affects the following types of code like classes, which includes abstracts and traits, interfaces, functions, and constants. Namespace are declared using the namespace keyword. You put it on the top script, okay, right on top. We've seen that before. Here's how we call a class. We call it by doing, well, let me explain. A class is a blueprint for, like I mentioned, object-oriented programming. And it's a blueprint for objects, right, that you create from those classes. So let's include a file which we called M. Did I spell that right? Where is it? M class right here. We'll include this, which happens to be right here. Okay, this is .php. Now within this class we're including, which is this stuff. This is the same thing of me. It's the same thing of me taking this and just putting it over here without this guy. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. It's just the same thing, but it just makes it better, makes it more organized. So now let's since we're going to be calling him, we're going to be we already created the namespace. We called it ns func, and then we created the table. Now this is the table that we're going to use as a blueprint for the object. So this is a class, and we're going to say this is public. We're going to say this is, let me say everybody can see it. This is public, anybody can see that. This is public, anybody can use this and see this. All right, so that's what that is. We're going to use the title, we're going to use the num rows, and we're going to use the method message. By the way, method is the same thing as function in a class. In a class, it is called a method. So when they say method and they're talking about classes, you know what it is. So that's what that is. So let's do that. We're going to say $table, and we're going to assign a new object from that blueprint. And because it's using this namespace, we're going to include the namespace right in here. So it is ns func. Did I spell that right? Then with the backslash, we're going to use the table because that is the object you're going to use, which happens to be this right here. Okay. So now let's say we're going to use, now that this guy here is an object, we're going to use that now, and we're going to get to the properties of that object. And the way to do it is with the arrow. See that one in associated array? When you do an array, it's kind of like this, right? You got the key, like you put like, I don't know, AAA, and this could be whatever it is that you want. That will be the key value in an array. So now we're going to use the title because that's what it is, and we're going to assign a title. We're going to say my table is real. That's dumb. And then we're going to say table again because it is an object, and we're going to use another property. We're going to use the num rows, and I want you to add 5 to it. Let's put a little space there. Let's add another 5 to it, like this. Now I also want to use the method because I want that method to run and use that stuff. So we're going to say, then we're going to say message. Is it with an S on? Nope, just one. So you go like this. This is how it's done. And that should work. See? Table, my table is view has rows. A little dumb, but hey. So basically, again, this is the class, which becomes a blueprint for an object that you will create using the keyword new. How about a simple one? How about we do, and then this can be complicated because, you know, object-oriented programming can be long and big and complicated. We could do, well, we can insert, let's take this down. We can use in func, which happens to be this one right here. See, we're going to use this and just do this. Something simple. Right, we're going to use that. Let's take all this out. And we're just going to say, if you were to do like func like this, you would definitely get an error, right? I'm going to show you why. Boom, see? Because you're using this. I mean, if you took this out, then it will work. See? But we want namespace because you never know. You may have a lot of files and a lot of people working on the same project, maybe using the same kind of names. So this will be yours. That will be your name, your stuff. Right? So let's, we don't need this. I mean, we could just add the my func. Remember? Backslash. And this is what we call my func. There you go. So if I run it, what's going on here? Let's see. I included this. What does it say? It says undefined function. Func. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to do this. See, I forgot to save it. Oh, there it goes. Okay. That was a little, you know, off-putting, right? Okay, let's now. So, you know the story. We already talked about that. So now that we kind of know how to do namespace from now on, when you start building your stuff, start doing it from the beginning. I mean, you could do it without it because it's only you and you're messing around in your local host. But when you're dealing with other company, with the company and other people, other developers and stuff, you should get into practice. Always practice that. Always get that in your mind to use namespaces. It's pretty cool though. So I wanna go over some things that I already shown you how to do from past videos. You know, like a review. Let me show you how to check whether the URL is using HTTP or HTTP. Remember that one we were doing? This is kind of like a review, but with different, you know, examples. So let's say we say if, let's do this, and then let's put an else right here because, you know, we're going to like this. Let's say we wanted to check if that one was empty. Let's say, remember we used the empty command. Then we say, let's do the super global right in here. Don't forget the square brackets because it needs it. Because remember, this thing creates an array. and it has all kinds of rules in it. So we could say, let's put it in the middle here. Let's say HTTPS. We're just going to give it a message. We're going to say echo HTTPS is not enabled. Please put enabled. Then over here, we're going to put this same message. Let's jump one line. Oh, my chair again. I think I'm going to order a new chair. So in this particular one, we're going to just say HTTP. We're going to change that in a second, but I wanted to. HTTP is not able. It's enabled like that. It's enabled. See, because HTTP. If this was sitting in a HTTPS protocol, then it will give me this part right here. All right, so let me show you how to get the full URL. That's something that you're going to get to use. The if statement you're going to get to use a lot, and the echo statement, and the print statement, and the printf you're going to use a lot. So in this particular case, let's so file URL. I got to be more creative with these names. So let's say we do HTTP $/$server. Don't forget the square brackets. Now, in this case, instead of just doing like putting stuff in between it, you can just put the other $_server right next to each other, And then this one would be, let's see, let's say semicolon. And then we want to echo this. Okay, now here I want to put in what we need, right? We need HTTP_host, because I want to see the host. And this one would be request_UR. Strange. You would think that they would do L because it's URL, right? No, indicators. That's what that means. I for indicators. All right, so let's do this. Let's save it. And here it goes. HTTP localhost 8080 in the name of the file. See, it's all there. If I go like this, put it over here. You see, it's all there. Same thing. Okay, let me show you more detail on another. Remember the email validation where we used the. Let me show you so it'll jog your memory. We're going to say email equals to oldman php at gmail.com, right? It's a string right now. Oops. Then we're going to do is we're going to check if let's put a space here. Let me say, remember that filter _var. Remember that command? And then you put the 2 parentheses. Let's do this. That would be something like, I don't know. We'll think about it in a second. We just do this. We'll say, well, what is it we really do? We want to check. Okay, I'll let go. Let me see. Remember that? Filter _var. Remember that command? And then you put the 2 parentheses. Let's do this. That would be something like, I don't know. We'll think about it in a second. We just do this. We'll say, what is it we really do? We want to check. Okay, I'll let go. you could say and we're going to put it over here. We're going to say $email. We're going to add that. We're going to say that and that. Oh man, we don't need this stuff right here because we're going to have it over here. We're going to add is a valid email. So like this, and I should do it. Let me see. 0 is a valid. So this particular case, this belongs to here. This is going to be used for this. So we have the two concatenated symbols. Oh, and I spelled this wrong. Oops, mail. Right? Email. So then you go quotes in quotes, which is part of that. Let's see. And this will be good. Will be with this. Is that should work. Oh, of course you expect it. You forgot to put your two parameters. First, the first argument or the first parameter, whatever you want to call it. Since we're sending it to the var, that will be the argument. So we're going to say $email. Remember, that's what we called it. And then don't forget that keyword, that little key that tells it, please do this. It is called filter underscore validate underscore email. Did I spell that right? Filter underscore validate email. Yeah, that should do it. Did I save it? Yes, I did. There you go. Is a valid email. Isn't that nice? I want to show you how we redirect you to. There was a thing called header, which I use a lot, especially when you got like the if-then statement, or you know something. Well, you get the message with this, right? If it didn't work, you kind of say not, right? Now, what happens is you put the header. You do whatever you want in the beginning, then you say header, and then when the interpreter reads the word header, it's going to say, oh, let me look what's inside, and it's going to say location. And then it's going to send you to that location, that URL that you're going to include within the header. Let me show you function. So it says header. Of course, we got that. The first one we must put in quotes. I mean, everything really in quotes. So you go like this, and then just say location. Remember, caps L. The L should be caps. Location, and then I can just say this, and then right here we put it in we're going to try secure socket layer HTTP. We're going to go to Apple. Remember Apple, and that will be it. Let's see, save it. I get this one. Remember, we used to give me. It gave it to me, but it didn't give me all the. It's like somehow it kind of skipped over the CSS stuff. But in this particular case, it actually takes you there. Wow, there you go. See, it actually took me there. Hey, that does it. It doesn't matter. It just takes you there. Okay, now let me show you how to detect a user web browser. And I think you've seen that before. Let's take this out, and let's say, let's get out of there. Let's take this out. Save it. I don't know why it does that. Let's put it in. What was it? PHP test. That's it. Alright, it's clean. That's what I wanted. So if you wanted to get like the, you know, the, well, we already did that. How about if we did a, how to get a file name? Remember the base file name? So we can say $current underscore file name, and then you're gonna say base name, right? Then you're gonna use semicolon. Within here, you're going to use your super global, remember? And in here, you're going to use the PHP underscore self. It reads your, in this particular case, you might need to use whole quotes. Because I see the color. See the color right there, brown? So I'm pretty sure we need the quotes of these. Some have it, some don't. There you go. What happened here? Oh, nothing, because you're not echoing it. Like this. See, gives you the name. It's funny because you would think it give you that, but it always considers this whole thing as a base name. Just in some place, it depends on how you're using it. Okay, how to get the URLs, like the protocol and the domain thing. You know what I mean? So if we did something like, let's take rid of this. If we did $URL, we're gonna put in Apple again. 1, 2, 3. Apple changed it. I mean, when you say Apple just by itself without this www, it redirects you to the new. Let's see, semicolon. But if you say www, it just takes you right straight to it. All right. So what we're gonna do is, in this situation, we're gonna parse these things. This is a thing called. Let me see. We're gonna say we're gonna parse it right into it again. So we're going to say parse underscore URL, semicolon. We're going to put in $URL. Now you're wondering what's going on here. Well, this URL is this one. You're parsing it back into it. So this URL no longer has this, because we parsed it, remember? We broke it down so we can see what it looks like. So what happens is you could say, let me look at the scheme. So I will say something like scheme, right, like this. Then we want to add my $URL, because we already did that. Now you're using this. Remember that? Then of course let's jump so we can do. Let's do 2 of them. See how I'm using 1 here, 2 here? It doesn't matter. It can be used on the same line. So let's not. If you want to show what's inside a variable, then you put it in here. If you only want to show what the name of that variable is with the $, just put it in here like this with the signal. I think I showed you that. Okay, so let me see. Over here we're going to do, this is another one. Let's see. No, how the hell you spell that? HME. Now see how it's showing as a brown? That means that it's going to need. There you go. See, if you go like this, see how it turned this all brown, you green? That means something wrong here. But if you close it up, see, you get back your regular color. It's telling you, hey, you're all right now. Continue. So then that's your scheme. How about we echo the host? So we'll do the same thing. We'll say host. And we're going to say this. We're going to say $URL like this. And I guess it doesn't matter back here. I'm not going to keep it. Let's put that semicolon there. And this one, we're going to say host. There it goes again. It's brown. So we go like this. There you go. Let's see. There you go. The scheme. Let me spell that. There you go. The scheme is that's what it is. So schema or scheme is HTTPS, and the host will be www.apple.com. Apple products sucks. Let me show you how to detect a web browser again. I mean, I think we did this. No, I guess not. So let me show you. Just say echo and just do browse. What is it? Browser. Damn, I got coffee. I got a drink. And then we're going to put in the actual super global. Don't forget your square brackets. Okay, in this situation, let me see. Because now that we're dealing with the more user agent, yep, there you go, brown. So we need to put this in. And let me see. There it goes. I'm using, wow, look at this. They missed, was that me? Yes, it was me. Browser. It's Mozilla, Macintosh. It gives you all this crap. OS 10.10.5. I wish I had, what is it, 11 or 12 now? My computer that I'm using will not take anything higher than that. It won't install. And of course, the main thing. There you go. It's Chrome. It uses the K like Gregor. It uses Apple WebKit. This whole thing is all within this browser. It has its own compiler and everything. Let me show you how to use there's this thing I did not show you how to do before. I think I used it, but I just went over it like real quick. I think it's echo. We're going to say URL and code. Get it? URL encode. These are functions. And within there, we're going to use, this is like to encode, I'm going to say HTTP 123 apple.com. Okay, that's definitely a problem because of this is looking at this as a comment, so it won't work because I'm missing quotes. Semicolon, double quote, doesn't matter. Single quote and W. Here it goes. See, it took, see these two things and this little symbol thing, it turned it into this. Turned it into this. Now you pass this on to whoever is calling this, and this is what they get, and then they can decode it back. Let me see if we go on the Chrome menu, View, Developer. Let's go to View Source. Wow. So it does give it to you like that. Remember the last time it kind of changed things and all that? Yeah, in this particular case, this one URL linker, don't use it much, but if when you get to the other side, it sends it as a string, There's no harm in strings, right? And then when you get to the other end, you just have to decode it. That's all. Now let me. Here's an example of using that same thing. Let me see. Let's say we call it query. Remember the query stuff is what. Let me see. You might see it. The query stuff. Let me do this. So I'll get rid of that crap. All right, I'm gonna just do this. The query stuff is something like you see this, and then you see a question mark, right? Then you see, I don't know, some kind of equals to, let's say 1, 2, 3, and then you see like a semicolon, or I think a question mark will work. Well, anyway, in this particular case, it has a query string of 123, and this is the name of the query string. So if you're passing this on to a system that people are very afraid of getting craziness, you gotta turn it into a string. You gotta turn it into a string, and that's what that does for you in this case. So let's get rid of that. Let's do I don't know. Let's do cars. Let's say Honda. I love Hondas. Hondas are great cars. Then you say of course, one of the Honda cars I like, and of course I had a 2023 Accord, top of the line one. Fast, man, it was fast. Then you want to say, let's write a string, because it's going to be a string. Then you're gonna say, let's say you're gonna use like the worst. I mean, I could have used mine, but let's say I don't know, search, the name of the file. Do I have a search here? So I don't want to use it. Okay, I got grease. That's good. So you got a search dot PHP, right? Then you got this, and then you could say query, which would be the Honda Accord and all that crap. Query would be $query, right? It's not the. We're not going to do that. We're going to do what we came for, the URL in quote. Then we put that stuff in. That would be, let's see, this. See, it's red, no problem. If I went like this, it probably would be no problem either, because it's going to look at it like, oh, this is a string. You know what I'm saying? So this is okay. We're sending in a, remember, this is equals, quote, this would have been a single. This probably would have failed because it's going to look at this. I don't know what this is. But if you put this, it'll translate to this, making this that. Let's see, semicolon, search, question mark. We do want to use this command, sending this in here. So we could say, oh, we need to echo this. Echoes faster, that's why I use it a lot. There you go. See? It gave me the whole thing. Huh. Oh, you know why? I forgot to do. Wait a minute. I forgot to say query. Query. Bear with me, man. Bear with me. That's your equal sign. Then you're going to say query. Then we're going to say that. Then we're going to put like that. Because I want the translation, not the actual. Let me see. Search. let's save it. Why isn't it working? I did my, you know something, let's change this. Should make a difference, but oh, I know why. I know why. I added this. Why we need this? We don't need that. It says it right here. There you go. See? Because I wanted to send something with spaces in between it. How do you spell chord? Things like this. So when you do this, you say, oh, wait a minute. It's got space. You know that's going to be a problem. So what happens is this thing here puts the plus sign. So now it became a string. And then on the other end, when you read the query, which you will see later on, it'll take out that thing and put it the way it's supposed to be, just like the original thing. Or it depends on what you want to do with it. All right, let's do a little complicated one, which is annoying to me really, but I'm going to do a complicated one. I want to do one that uses a couple of things that we have learned already, right? We did the if statements, else, we did the for each statement, something that would use that. Remember the return statement, we use that. And of course we want to use arrays. Let's do the array, and let's use one of my favorite thing, array underscore map. So let's take all this crap out. Oops, sorry. And let's just put array 1. How about that? And we're gonna say array. How about this? We're gonna put arrays within arrays. Okay, and that alone, just by following what I'm going to show you, you could kind of like, oh yeah, I could use some of this stuff for certain projects. It's all there, what I need. Now that crude project that I have, this one combines all the things that you have learned, and trust me when I tell you, most of the stuff that you'll be doing, it will be in there. You just have to learn it, memorize, whatever you want to do. Just memorize the commands or know how to look it up by using, I don't know, php.net. It's that one of them, yes it is. It's funny because it doesn't have, you gotta go here. It doesn't have a, it's so strange that this thing wouldn't have a, oh it does, but this particular Chrome, like I told you from before, it's got problems. So then you had, well, it's all here. You see what I'm talking about. All right, so just by doing that project, oh man, I took that a long time ago. I took that project and I'm like, oh man, every time I want to see something, I look it up. And if I say, oh, let me add a button for this, so then you add another button to it and add another bunch of stuff for the function. And I'm telling you, man, just following that stuff, that's some of the things you're going to be doing. You're going to be learning how to do all kinds of stuff just because you have learned how to use the crude project that I'm going to show you. All right, let's just get on because I'm talking too much. Let's do an array. Let's do another array. There's two of them. Let's just send numbers. 77, Sunset Strip 78, 3, 4. I don't care. But how about we do another one? Dollar array. We're gonna call it $array2. This is gonna be array just regular. We'll do strings. How about that? So we'll do convert to WordPress, and I want to send in dot .com like that. See how that works? Put this here so we together, and then you know, let's just keep it clean. All right, let's do this. All right, I'm going to create a function, right? Now this function is going to merge. How about that? We're going to merge arrays by index. Okay, let's do this. How many do we have here? Well, for now we'll do this. We're gonna do that. Now in here I want to move this into here, so I'm gonna say X and Y. Then what we're gonna do is I want to create an array. Now remember that you can create an array using the word array, which we just did, or you can do, let's do a temporary array like this. See, you just created a blank array. Now anything that you send in through here, like this first one or this one, like here on X, I want it inside that array. So we're gonna say temp, right? And then you're gonna go like this. And you're gonna say $X, semicolon. See, you're gonna take this X, you're gonna put it in there. You save it, you're gonna put it in there. Then you're gonna say, let's go check some scalar. Now scalar, I told you before, is just single values. That's all it is. Like regular stuff, like $A equals to cat, $A equals to horse, $A equals to 123. I mean, you know, that kind of thing. That's a scalar. But you know, example. So we're going to use the if statement, right? Because I want to compare. I want to compare it. Now, hold on one second, man. Sorry about that. And we're going to use something called, I'm going to explain, is scalar. Right? Sorry. Then you could do this, and then you could kind of like, what should you do with it? Okay, we want it in here too. So I guess it would be s temp. Oops. We need to do something with that y, right? And then let's move this out the way. Let's give it an s. I'm going to say else. And then what we're going to do is, let's run a, let me see. If it is these guys, put that in there. Else do this. Let's see. We want to run through the temp. We want to run through this. So we're going to put it over here as in for each loop. It's from that loop. We're going to put in here, remember how we did it the last time, temp as, because we want the key value, remember that? So you just say $key $what, yeah, $key $view value. All right, so let's put it in here, and I want to just to make it just whatever that is, V. Stick that in there. What else can we do? Let me see. We got. Oh, well, we're gonna have an error because it is. So basically, what I want to do is I want to compare the X, Y. Let's try that. I'm gonna try that, and over here we're gonna say this belongs to that. This belongs to that. This belongs to that. And this belongs to this. Okay, let me see. So what we got? Let's move this up. Right. Well, this is not gonna do anything. Well, it'll do something, but I won't be able to see what the hell I'm doing. So what we're gonna do is return it. So let's do the return $temp. Semicolon. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. I need to adjust this chair. All right. I was gonna oil it earlier today. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna echo this thing. It's gonna look. Let's do the print R. Remember, for and then we're gonna run the array map. Yeah, why not? We'll do it out here instead of doing it in there. I could have just put this inside variable, then put the variable inside the printer, but we're going to do it like this to show you how versatile, you know, that the PHP does. Let me see. So we're gonna, what should we put here? I'm going to say merge. Did I spell that right? This one. Let's go in here. Let's put it in there. Then, of course, it is a function, so do the parentheses. Oh, no, we can't do that. You know why? We're passing it on. Remember, we're passing this merge map. We'll take this function and it'll take these things together. It says, okay, do something with this together. So we'll do this because that looks brown. Doesn't look right. Yep, that's it. And then we're going to say array 1. And we're going to say array 2. Then we're going to do semicolon. Did I call it that? Array 1, array 2. These are just stupid. These are just arrays. Let me see, I wanted to do this. And say, yes, it is. Put it in. And if it ain't, oops, I want you to put the Y in. Right? So then you go like this, return not, because you're merging, you got 1 and 2. It's going to do 1 and 2. It's going to do both things. And because arrays, see, when you send an array like to a list or something, like remember the array list, then it tells you, oh, there's going to be multiple stuff in there. So let me see. Would this work? Oh, wait a minute. You got this belongs to that one. We need one more. There you go. So, uh-oh, something is wrong. See this? It's green. That means this. Boom, right here. There you go. These are okay to be brown because we're sending these two guys here. Oh, wait a minute. No, of course there's something wrong. Forgot to do this. It's in an array. It's two variables that are holding an array. So this became an array, both of them. Now it's red. Oh, perfect, perfecto mundo. Let's give it a shot, see if it works. There you go. It gave, oh my God, this is a mess. We're going to do the echo pre. Let's do this. Let's try this. Boom, there you go. It did the 77 and the 78, and it did, where is it? The 77 and the 88 buckwheat. That's pretty good. What can we do to change this a bit? It's interesting to know that you can kind of, and over here, what happens if I, let's see. Hey, just gave me those two guys. Because it was only these two guys. When you did the Y, it gave me everything. Now, see how wonderful that is? Because I put the first one, I put this X, this one right here happens to be what? I mean, this one happens to be the Y. So it read, it says, no, this ain't it. We don't have any of this. You know what I mean? Actually, the X. So if you go like this, and of course it says, oh yes, this is the Scala. No, it's not. This is the Scala. But the thing is that it'll use it as a, well, if it ain't this, then do this. If it ain't that, do that. This is why you add the Y to get everything. There you go. 0 and 1, which has an array. See, two things you can do. You check out just the ones that are not an array, or the ones that are not Scala, or the others that are Scala. So what I wanted to say was that it is Scala. This is, where is it? Scalar, right here. Scalar is Scalar. That this function, it checks whether a variable is a scalar or not. It just checks to see if it's yes or no. Right? So this function returns true if it is, right? That is if the variable is like a scalar, like otherwise it'll give you like a false or nothing. Scalars are like variables, like I mentioned before, that are those containing like integers and float. I should put it here. That's integer, that's float. Your strings, your boolean, a true or false type thing. That's what that is. Let me show you some other way to use that scalar thing. Like simple way. Simple stuff. Let's see. That you can do. Should we use this? I don't know. Let's say $A equals to hello sucker. No, I'm not kidding. And then you want to echo it, right? Let's see, echo A hello. A is let's put this here. Let's say is scalar and then we're going to put the $A in there because that's what we have, $A. Then we're going to put semicolon. How about if we do a bunch of them? Okay, how about if I copy this? And let's just do one for B. That will be like a number, right? Let's stick this guy in there. Let's do a C that, I don't know, another number. Let's do D null. That means a variable with nothing in it, but there's nothing occupying that nothing. Get it? Not like when you put like two quotes by itself, and there's something in there, because the two quotes sees it as, hey, there's something in there. This way, you're just telling the interpreter, hey, I don't want nothing in there, period. I don't even want air. So let's save this in there. And let's do this one. $E array. Why not, since we're doing, you know. Alright. Okay. All we're going to do is put red, white, blue. Right, white and blue. Let's say E, D, C, B. Let's see. Save it. Maybe I should have put a little bit of, I can see this getting messy. How about if we do this again? Let's do 2. That's okay. Let's do this. We'll do this. Do I have everything? Now this one's going to be B, C, D, E. Sorry, it took a little time there. Boom. See, A is 1, yes. True. B is true. C is true. D doesn't have anything, so it won't give you true or false. And then this one, number E, is also false, so they should have told us. Because it ain't. See this? This is these things are not only the int, what is that? The int, float, string, and the boolean variables. Those are scalar variables. Types like array, object. Remember the thing that was called resources, so you can check out the resources or something. And the null are not scalars. So here's another way, and this is. Should we do it? We did already. There you go. We do have, let me see, is float, like this, right? Is integer, like this, right? You got is underscore numeric, right? Remember, they all have that. Oh, what the hell? Let me put it in. Then we have is real. This is thing called real. That's like an alias for float. That's what that is. That's why it's a different color. Now you have is string. Remember you saw that one before. So then you have your boolean. Remember the let's go back. Then you have your boolean is boolean, like that. You know. Then you have something called is object. See if it's an object. Yes, it is. And then we have is array, which you've seen too, like this. Well, isn't that wonderful? There's a lot of different things you can do. We're going to show you more stuff, don't worry. I'm going to show you the way an older man teaches another older man. Hopefully it's clear that you have learned some things. And if you think that I need some improvement, just put it in the comment downstairs. And then I would, you know, because I'm going to read them. And then if it's a lot of negatives, I'm going to change. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to have better videos. It's just for now, I'm doing it this way because I want to, you know, teach older guys right away. I don't want to wait for later, so they can at least get something, you know, even if it's a temporary job. Well, we reached the end, and if you enjoyed this video and you learned about the namespace, and we did the review on a whole bunch of stuff that I've taught before, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. This will help grow my channel. And the next video, I will talk about the advanced PHP stuff like the super global again, but not just the $_ server, but we're going to talk about the $_ get, the $_ post, and the $_ files. Until until next time, a good night.